Alright, so in this, follow along in your handy dandy notebook with how to draw each of these different landscapes that we have talked about with our Georgia regions. So all we got to do is draw a few boxes. Let's draw one box here. I'm going to be using a marker just because it's easier for you to see than, let's say, a pencil. And we're going to start with coastal plains. Now, that's pretty much the easiest one because it's a beach scene. So we have the water. We have the beaches crashing up onto the shore. We have some clouds, maybe the sun. It's a nice day at the beach. Alright. Now the thing is that there are dunes that happen at the beach. And those can have things like sea oats growing on them. It's a type of grass. You only find it at the coast. And they have big wheat-like heads that are on them. So you could have some seagrass, maybe a salt bush. Okay, so maybe a bird could be in the bush. And that would be like a simple background that you would draw for the coastal plains. And you would add your things like the birds, like maybe a seagull or a brown pelican, or a turtle, sea turtle coming out to lay her eggs on the beach. That would be an example of how to draw an ecosystem for the coastal plains. Moving on. Another box. Heading up the state into the Piedmont. Oh, T. Alright. This is, remember, a lot of pine forest. So you may have a lot of grass here in the foreground of your landscape or how you draw. You might have some trees that are very close. More grass. Trees that are further away. And you can have like in the very background. Oops. Some trees that are very far away. But that would be an example of Piedmont. We have a lot of forests with flat ground. You can add things like the turkeys, gobble gobble, woodpeckers on the tree itself. Deer in the background, maybe walking through, going, hey. So that's how you would draw an ecosystem for the Piedmont, because it's well known for its forests. Another box. You can always pause at any time if I'm going too fast and catch up. Alright, Blue Ridge. Remember, Blue Ridge is the beginning of the mountains with a lot of foothills, tall hills. So you may have, like, you're standing on a ridge and you're looking out over the valley itself. So you may have a bush, another bush, a tree. You've been hiking, you've been getting to this wildlife viewing area you might see signs for. And past this, you would see the mountains. And remember, Blue Ridge is different from Appalachian because of Blue Ridge, the mountains are actually blue. So if you choose Blue Ridge, don't forget that, they're blue. I'll show an example of that in just a sec. Alright. Coastal Plains, Piedmont, Blue Ridge. 2 more boxes. All right, ridge and valley. We're going to have 2 ridges. Ridge and valley. 2 ridges going down into a valley. So in the foreground we may have some grass for our landscape. Might have some trees, like some loblolly pines. Or white oak, big and massive and beautiful. And you might see the other part of the ridge going down the valley this way. So ridge and valley. And you can add things like the hawks. Or the deer, since they really like these open areas. And I'm just doing simple ones because I'm not going to get into great detail with this. So ridge and valley. And the last example I'll draw for you, how to draw these landscapes. And of course I had to spell this right. Appalachian Plateau. Now, plateau is actually a raised flat mountain. So if you want to draw an actual plateau, it would have a flat top and it would have more mountains around it. And the same thing with the Blue Ridge. You can have kind of a wildlife viewing area from a road way up there, and you're looking down onto all these mountains down here. Maybe have a laurel conifer pine tree here, because they're well known for their fir trees too. Maybe have something like a fox. Maybe some dead branches stick out of the bush. And you have a bird singing. So things like that. So those are your examples of how to draw each of those regions. Choose which region you want to draw. And I'm going to show you an example here. I took my piece of paper and I filled it up. Almost all the way. I had this for another project actually. I chose Blue Ridge obviously because my mountains are blue. Then I thought, okay, so there's the background. I already have one type of animal, a fauna, a pileated woodpecker, so I decided I'm going to draw a bear, black bear, red fox, and a box turtle. Alright, because all these species can be found in the Blue Ridge area. Alright, looks kind of like a meeting of the minds with these animals right here. Alright, I obviously made this for another project, so they're all in different pieces of paper. I want them all on the same paper for you. I labeled what region this is, so Blue Ridge region. Alright, and I want at least one mammal, maybe a reptile of some sort. So if you do the sea, it could be the sea turtle, a bird, and I definitely want at least one tree somewhere. Alright, so choose which region you want, draw it how you want it, color it in, draw in the animals that you want that match that region. You can research more what animals live where. And I can't wait to see what y'all do for your region ecosystem drawing. Alright, we'll see you next time.